One of the fun things that you can do with yarn that's not knitting and is super duper easy is to make pom-poms. And I bet you all have a favorite hat that has a pom-pom on top. And the cool thing about pom-poms is that you can make them in all different sizes, you can make them in different colors, you can even make dolls and tassels. Aha! Here's a tassel. So you could, if you had a fancy hat, you could put a tassel on it. Or if you made them a little smaller, ooh, you could make earrings. Or you could put it in a zipper pull on your jacket. You can even make little animals. This is a little sheep I made out of two pom-poms, one big one and one little one. And I just added some felt for the face and for the ears and for the legs poking out the bottom, but still cute. I'm still missing my doll. Oh, here she is. So you can almost see how it started out like a tassel, like this one. But then I pulled some of the threads aside to give her arms. I put another band here to give her a waist, and I left her with a skirt. If you wanted to make pants, well, all you would have to do is split these in half to give him or her pants, okay? And again, the cool thing about pom-poms is you can make them in many, many, many different sizes. So, how do you make a pom-pom? Super duper easy. You take a piece of cardboard, can be any size, so I could wrap my yarn this way, or if I wanted it bigger, I could wrap my yarn this way. And then you take your yarn, red yarn and blue yarn together. I have these two big cones from my mom. Okay, I have my two yarns. I'm going to just hold it for a minute and then just start wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. Might be easier if I set these on the floor. And wrapping and wrapping. This is a great thing to do if you're watching TV or just hanging out, sitting on the steps in the sunshine, and you just keep wrapping. I like the way this is coming out with the two different colors, but I'm going to keep going. You might like them little loosey-goosey like this, or you might like them really fat and tight. If you like them really fat and tight, you got to keep going. When you think that you have had enough twists and turns on your pom-pom, do some more. It's always better to do too much than too little, because once you start cutting it, you can't go backwards. I think now I have enough. I'm going to take my scissors and cut the yarn. The thing you want to do when you pull it off, you want to keep it as a bundle before you cut. So I have some rubber bands somewhere on this bed. Here we go. And as I slowly pull, you can bend your cardboard to make it easier and pull it off. Okay, you want to sort of eyeball, if you're making a regular pom-pom, you want to eyeball the middle. If you're making a tassel, you want to do something else first, okay, which I forgot to tell you, and I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to take my rubber band and just have that hold my pom-pom. Use the rubber band to hold it for you while you tie your string. Okay, so I'm going to get that same yarn that I used for my pom-pom, but I'm going to double it and make extra All right, when you lose one pair of scissors, you go find another. Okay, so because I've actually got 4 lengths because I want this to be really strong, and I'm going to go right by my rubber band. I'm going to go around to tuck it under like a little simple knot. But a simple knot's not going to hold all this yarn. So I'm going to pull it as tight as I can. And this is the part you might need your folks to help with because you got to hold it really, really tight and do a double knot. And I'm actually even going to put in a triple knot. A double knot is 2 knots. A triple knot is 3 knots. Okay, now I got that. Now I can take my rubber band and get rid of that. Now you see your pom-pom, actually you have a little tunnel because this is where you wrapped it around your cardboard. So it doesn't look like a pom-pom now. That's why you need your scissors again. And you're going to put your scissors through the tunnel and grab a little bit of the yarn and cut. And you're going to go all the way through your tunnel so that you have, instead of loops, you have open pieces. Okay? You're going to go all the way through, but with patience, you will get all of your yarn loops open. Okay, and that's what you want to do. That's what makes a pom-pom a pom-pom. And you could already see it's going wild. Okay? And I'm so glad I chose 2 colors to go. Ooh, there's more loops. Okay? Because that's looking really cool. If you were doing a powder puff, you would stop here. But we're not doing a powder puff. We're not doing a tassel. So we're going to cut the other side too. All right, so you can see there's where I tied it all together, and here was my top half and my bottom half. But that doesn't look like a pom-pom either. So the next part is kind of fun, is we have to fluff it out. And maybe run away pom-pom. Okay. Now this is looking much better, but not very neat pom-pom, is it? Okay, oop, there's a loop I missed. Choop. Okay, so the last part, if you're just making a plain old pom-pom, is to do a little haircut on your pom-pom. You can picture what a ball looks like and just trim it until you think it looks like round. When I made my little sheep, here's my little sheep. Okay, I made this one that's the head of the sheep kind of roundish, but I made this one a little longish because that was the body of the sheep. Okay, like that. Now if you want a pom-pom like this, like if you want to learn how to juggle or something like that, this is great.
And here's my husband demonstrating how you can use pom-poms for juggling, or not.
If you want the pom-pom to attach to your hat, or to make earrings, or to go on a shirt, that string that we tied the middle, you would leave that long so that you had something to attach it to. And when you're trimming, don't trim your attachment pieces or it'll be tricky to hold them. But if you forget, don't despair. If you forget to leave a long piece for attaching, you can simply grab a couple of these and use another piece of yarn to attach it to your hat with just a couple of quick stitches like that. All right? So that's our basic pom-pom, and it's pretty cool. And if you had a couple of googly eyes or buttons, you could sew them on there and make a little little round little creature. Let me show you how to do the tassel part, and from the tassel you can make the doll. I've also made an octopus from a tassel, and it's pretty easy. This time I'm going to use a bit thicker yarn. Depending on the thickness of your yarn, you won't have to wind quite as much. So this is going to be, we do the same start. You only have to hold it until it doesn't run away. And this is the same yarn that I used to make this hat. And this yarn comes all the way from the Shetland Islands,
where they have lots of sheep to make the wool for yarn.
I have in my attic a spinning wheel. And that's in the olden days how they used to take the wool from the sheep. They would clean it, and they would comb it, and then they would take little bits and spin it to make yarn. They would take the yarn and they would either put it on a loom and weave it back and forth to get cloth like your blue jeans, or they would knit it or crochet it to make stretchy things like sweaters. So here we have my wool. Now for a tassel, the part that I forgot to tell you about, take my yarn again, is we're going to take a double length of our yarn and we're going to pull it together at the top here before we take it off our board. So I'm going to take that double yarn, I'm going to pull it up to the very top like that, and then I'm going to do my double knot. One knot, pull it tight. Ah! That's why you use a double, okay? All right, maybe I need to use triple, okay? Or quadruple. I'll do quadruple. So for 1, 2 is double, 3 is triple, 4 is quadruple, okay? So we're gonna do the double and then do that in half. So now you see I have 4. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to slip it under and I'm going to tie a knot and I'm going to pull it really tight, and hopefully this time, yes, this time it doesn't break. Okay, and then I'm going to do my double knot and my triple knot. That's 3 times, remember? And then I can pull it off my form. Now remember, when we were making a pom-pom, we put it in the middle. But we're going to make a tassel or a doll. So the doll or the tassel needs a head. So I'm going to sort of picture where I want that head. And cut it. And picture where I want the head of my tassel or the head of my doll. And that's where I'm going to tie my knot. Pull it together like there. Okay? And my double knot. And my triple knot. All right. So, and this you can see very obviously how I would use these yarns to attach it to the top of my hat, to my earrings, to my zipper pull. So if I just want a tassel, I'm just going to cut down here and then trim it even. But if I want to make a dolly, like this one, who my dog has chewed a little bit, I need to picture where I'm going to put the arms and where I'm going to put the legs. So first I'm going to turn my tassel upside down, and there's my loops, you can see. Okay, and we're going to cut the loops. I think because it was thicker thread, it was easier. Oh, almost looks like a little broom, right? I guess I could use it like a little broom. doll's head. I take a little bit, okay, and then a little bit on the other side because we got 2 arms, okay. And then I would take a little bit of yarn to tie off the wrist. Now I mentioned an octopus. So how many arms does an octopus have? So you could find that many arms. You could even, maybe your folks could do this, or your big sister or big brother. You could even braid the arm like this before you tie it off. Make it a little stronger. That's a little braided arm. Now she could have a full skirt like this, okay? Or you could bring in the waist with another band. Or you can bring in the waist and then give them pants, okay? So I think these tassels are very versatile, and I'd love to see what you can come up with for your yarn doll or your yarn octopus. And so many ideas for the pom-poms. You could make, here's a pom-pom snowman. You could put a whole bunch of them together and make a pom-pom caterpillar. So depending on how much yarn you have in your house and how much yarn your folks let you play with, you can have a lot of fun making pom-poms. And really, all you need is yarn, piece of cardboard, pair of scissors, and some imagination. And maybe you can give me some new ideas about what to do with your pom-poms. All right.